New York revels in the glory of its championship teams. Memories of its last NBA title both inspire and haunt this sports-crazed city. Over a decade ago, the Knicks claimed the winning lottery ticket in Patrick Ewing, but the franchise has yet to claim its ultimate prize. This season, Knicks fans renewed their hopes for a return to the 70s when New York acquired the players many said would bring glory back to the Garden. But the Big Apple is not a patient place, and the Knicks' early season was angst-filled. However, Jeff Van Gundy's team has shown its cohesiveness in the face of local media hysteria, and as the NBA season reaches its all-star breaks, the Knicks find themselves with the league's 5th best record, a dominant home court, and the feeling that this spring they will make New Yorkers proud once again. It is a misty night in Midtown Manhattan, but the soft rain which falls outside only adds to the urgency with which 19,000 make their way inside one of the meccas of sports in this country. We come to you tonight from Madison Square Garden, and the second meeting of the season between two teams who come in with identical 32-14 records, the Houston Rockets and the New York Knicks. Good evening, everybody. I'm Vern Lundquist. Welcome to New York in the rematch, the highly anticipated, even much ballyhooed second meeting between these two teams who met in Houston only 3 weeks ago. But these two teams will have a challenge tonight because two of the superstars unable to go. For the Knicks, Patrick Ewing will be in civilian clothes tonight for the third straight game, an injured groin and the flu. And for the Houston Rockets, they'll have to go without Charles Barkley. He will be on the bench again with a severely sprained right ankle. I'm joined as always by Doc Rivers. Doc, given the absence of these two great players, which team hurts the most?
Well, the Knicks hurt the most in this deal. Houston still has Elijah Wan and Drexler. These are two guys who can be double teamed all the time, and these are two guys who also create for the other guys on the floor.
Nevertheless, Houston comes in having lost 4 in a row, so they're trying to right the ship. Now, New York had a 15-game home streak knocked off by Charlotte Sunday. They didn't have Patrick then. They won't have him tonight. Who has to step up there?
Well, what they missed, Byrne, is 21 points. And the guys who are going to have to make that up is Larry Johnson first. They want him to score on the post and cause some double teams. But the key guy in this whole thing will be Allen Houston. He must step up, not only scoring for himself, but he must create for others. And if he can do that, they'll have a chance in this game tonight.
Well, two records, 32-14, the New York Knicks and the Houston Rockets. And after the game in this city, you're in for a fine dining experience.
One mustard and sauerkraut.
One with mustard sauce.
The Knicks are hot, but there's nothing as hot as an old-fashioned New York City hot dog. Knicks vs. Rockets next on TNT. Catch it.
Sellout crowd in Madison Square Garden again tonight. The second meeting of the season between the Houston Rockets and the New York Knicks. 32-14, identical records coming into tonight's game. And the starting lineups for the Rockets: Clyde Drexler and Matt Maloney in the backcourt, Mario Elie, Elijah Wan, and Kevin Willis in place of Charles Barkley up front. And for the New York Knicks, Allen Houston and Chris Childs in the backcourt, Larry Johnson. Buck Williams gets the start tonight in place of Patrick Ewing, and Charles Oakley at the power forward. Well, one of the much ballyhooed lineups tonight, the rematch between Charles Oakley and Charles Barkley, not to be. For more, here's Craig Sager.
Charles Oakley and Charles Barkley are disagreeable, uncongenial, incompatible at best. Barkley wants an apology after being fired to the ground by Oakley during preseason. Oakley wants revenge after being torched statistically and verbally by Barkley 3 weeks ago. Sir Charles isn't playing tonight, but he still had heated words for Mr. Oakley.
Charles Oakley can't play. He's not a challenge to me. He's a guy with muscles who works hard. Can't play a lick, so I'm not backing down from a challenge from him.
Oakley's response: Barkley talks too much. In fact, he was even trash talking during lineups. Oakley says he works his mouth off. I work my euphemism off. Vern?
We'll watch that euphemism all night long.
Yes, we will. And he does work his off a lot.
Yes.
He plays hard.
Yeah, the work ethic. Boy, he's a blue-collar athlete. He comes to work every night, and he does work hard.
And you know what, Vern? Of everyone in this arena tonight who is upset that Charles Barkley is not here, it's probably Charles Oakley.
Patrick Ewing, well-dressed on the Knicks bench, out for the third consecutive game. He suffered the pulled groin injury last minute of the game against Boston. Knicks have won the last 4 out of 5. Houston's last victory here by a 9-point margin in December of 1993. Ed Middleton, Jim Clark, and George Tolliver, the officiating crew tonight. Buck Williams and Elijah Wan will jump center. Kevin Willis, fresh from a 23-point, 16 rebound game in Orlando the other night. Here's Matt Maloney, picked up by Chris Childs. They're fronting. Buck Williams fronts Elijah Wan to start. Here's Kevin Willis taking it strong but short. Oakley gets the first of the rebounds tonight. Chris Childs at the other end as Maloney backs up.
And if the Knicks can get Kevin Willis taking people off the dribble, that's exactly what they want. He's a low post scorer. He's not a guy who can take players off the dribble. Drexler
defends Allen Houston. Maloney picks up Childs. Larry Johnson pick and roll, and Childs cans it. A lot more pick and rolls perhaps tonight with Ewing out.
Yeah, you can see a lot of pick and rolls. You're going to see some ISOs from Allen Houston and some posters for LJ. What Jeff Van Gundy does not want is guys to start thinking they have to do it all themselves. He wants to keep the team ball involved so they can have a lot of good ball movement.
Whoa, my goodness. Larry Johnson forces Drexler out of bounds, and Ed Middleton with the call said that's a turnover.
Well, what you see here is Clyde Drexler being bodied by Larry Johnson, and Larry Johnson doing a good job. And Clyde is he's flopping a little bit here. He's trying to draw a foul, and I know when a flop when I see one. I can tell you that right now.
I have learned over the half season we've been together to anticipate a flop call. That one no good. Mario Elie checks it down for Houston. Rockets have lost their last 4. There's the alley-oop to Kevin Willis underneath, and it's knocked away. Elijah Wan saves it. Buck Williams guards him, and the foul is called on Buck Williams.
That's one of the things just Van Gundy is really worried about. He's taking a gamble by putting Buck Williams on him early, because the thought is if he gets in foul trouble, then who do you go to? And you'll probably go to a Herb Williams, or you might even go to a rookie and Walter McCarty and put Charles Oakley on Elijah Wan. Elijah Wan's a tough matchup for them without Patrick Ewing out on the court.
There's Herb Williams, who's only a week shy of his 39th birthday. He started the last 2 games and played 6 and 7 minutes respectively in the Ewing absence. Here's Maloney. Now Kevin Willis. He's guarded by Oakley. They get it into the low post to Elijah Wan. Turnaround jumper is good.
And he shoots it so quick. The Knicks don't like double teaming, but they will do some tonight. The problem is Elijah Wan has such a height advantage. He'll be able to shoot over the double team.
Oakley for 2. Long rebound chased down by Larry Johnson. Houston for 3. No. Long rebound this time in the hands of Mario Elie. And here come the Rockets in transition. Nice drive by Elie.
Those are the type of points that Van Gundy and the Knicks cannot afford. They're going to have a tough time scoring. They cannot make it easy for Houston to score tonight.
4-2 Houston lead. New York fresh from that thrashing from Charlotte here on Sunday that ended a 15-game home winning streak. Turnover, Houston. Here's Elie again. Turnover, New York, and the foul called on Oakley as he takes Kevin Willis hard. Transition defense.
Yeah, just watch the Knicks here. Back to the basket. That's one of the first things you're taught when you're playing basketball is turn around, always see the ball. The Knicks didn't do that on that time, and Jeff Van Gundy was not happy about it, and he shouldn't be.
Now transition defense has been a problem for Van Gundy's troops all season long.
And one of the reasons is, Vern, because they turn the ball over so much. They're still having a problem with turnovers. And Van Gundy said they're a big team. And if you're a big team and you turn the ball over, the big guys can't get back transition-wise.
Knicks turn it over 18.8 per game. That one rattles around, but Willis knocks it home. And it's a 5-2 Rocket lead. Drexler picks up Allen Houston. Now the switch. Johnson drives the lane and draws the foul. He'll go to the free throw line.
And you're going to see that a lot tonight also. Their low post player, Patrick Ewing, is not playing tonight. They still need low post scoring. And you're going to see it with Larry Johnson, and this is what he does. He likes going right, turning into the middle of the paint and shooting that running hook, whatever that shot is. It's an effective shot.
Johnson, a 65% free throw shooter, gets the first of 2. And a chance now to pull the Knicks to within 1.
And this is going to be a game where Johnson will play similar to the way he played in Charlotte. He is going to be the go-to guy. You know, when Patrick's on the floor, he's not the go-to guy. People are wondering why his points are down. It's because he doesn't get the same amount of shots. Tonight, he will.
Giles picks up Maloney. 5-4 ball game. 9:09 to go opening quarter. Now Maloney finds Drexler. Larry Johnson again defending him. That's for 3, and Drexler cans it. That's
another interesting matchup tonight, is putting LJ on Drexler. One of the reasons is because Drexler is so big, they feel that Johnson can put some pressure on him, make him shoot over. But if he starts gunning from the 3, then they're going to make a switch. You'll see Allen Houston back on Clyde Drexler.
Clyde Drexler, as you look at the last shot, here's the runner from Childs. Oh, my goodness. That's a tough shot.
That really is. And he's good at those. He makes those a lot. You remember Sherman Douglas in Milwaukee is a guy who shoots the same types of shot. It's not the prettiest thing, but they go in.
Ellie.
That's what counts.
Back to Willis. Here's Maloney. Has it in his hands now. 8.5 to go in the opening quarter. Drexler. Johnson all over him, and Johnson draws a foul.
And that foul was drawn because the last play Drexler makes a 3. So Larry Johnson feels he has to get up on Drexler, and that's playing right into Drexler's hands. Drexler has quickness, and his quickness, if you guard him too close, he'll be able to take advantage of it, and that's why Larry Johnson got that foul right there.
Third team foul, first foul on Clyde Drexler. Fresh 24. Here's Drexler. Takes Johnson off the dribble. Back to Olajuwon. Buck Williams. Nice pass from Olajuwon to Drexler, but then a good defensive job from Johnson.
And you saw exactly why Larry Johnson is on Drexler, because on the post, he's a bigger guy. It's a tough guy to shoot over.
Johnson, he's guarded by Ellie. There's another turnover by New York. Clyde Drexler will slow it down. Kick it back to Maloney, who thinks about a 3, but Allen Houston is right with him. Olajuwon, jumper from way outside. Nope. Offensive board, Kevin Willis. He had a big rebounding effort in the loss to Orlando on Sunday with 16 rebounds. Oh, boy, Maloney ran into Buck Williams and hurt.
Well, and I tell you, with Kevin Willis out on the court, obviously you miss Charles Barkley. That's an obvious statement. But Kevin Willis will give you the rebounds. He can make up the rebounding deficiency without Barkley. The points is where they miss Barkley and Barkley's intensity and leadership.
Allen Houston, Olajuwon. Almost got called for a reach in. There is another turnover. Take a look at Larry Johnson's defensive effort on Clyde Drexler.
Yeah, off the dribble, he has problems. But when they get Clyde the ball down low in the paint, Clyde is really going to have a tough time shooting over Larry Johnson. He has long arms, and he's taller than Clyde.
In the first meeting between these two in mid-January, the Knicks turned it over 14 times in the first half en route to a 20-point blowout loss. Now they've turned it over 3 times, but just like that, Houston counters.
And 2 of their turnovers have just been careless mistakes. Not looking at your guy before you pass the ball, assuming he's going to be there. Those are the type of turnovers the Knicks have to eliminate.
Buck Williams takes Olajuwon hard, and Olajuwon is called for the foul. 6 minutes and 50 seconds left in the opening stanza from Madison Square Garden. The Rockets lead by 4.
No question. I think as guards, we have to step up and play big in this game. We do lose a lot, when Patrick is not there. 20 points, 10 rebounds, and plus his presence in the middle, defensively. So as guards, we have to step up and we have to push the basketball up and down the court and get some easy buckets. We can't really rely on a half-court set in order to beat Houston. They do have a strong half-court team, and we have to be ready to run.
John Starks will be in the game shortly as the 6th man for the New York Knicks. Tonight, the New York guards, Houston 0 for 2. Chris Childs 2 for 2. Allen Houston was in a bit of a slump in the Charlotte game, 8 for 25 in that one.
Yeah, well, one of the reasons is because the guy he was guarding had 42 points. Glenn Rice is just killing the entire league right now, and he didn't lighten up on the Knicks Sunday night.
That was pretty awesome. and then he and John Starks were in the hallway and got into a little trash talking. And
Yeah.
what was it Glenn Rice said?
Glenn Rice had a great point. He said, I'm not the guy you want to trash talk to right now. The way he's rolling, he knows what he's talking about.
Chris Childs guarded by Maloney. Ellie fronts Larry Johnson. Allen Houston guarded by Drexler. Now they get it to Larry Johnson. Ellie kicks it out quickly in the hands of Charles Oakley for the baseline jump shot, which is good. Oakley's first basket of the night. That cuts the margin to 2.
And that basket was caused by Larry Johnson because he drew a double team. That's exactly what the Knicks want.
Drexler off the dribble. Knows where his man is, Kevin Willis, but there's a battle underneath. And Larry Johnson a little slow getting up. Let's take a look at that again.
And Larry wants the ball. He knows he's going to get it a lot tonight. It's a different type of Larry tonight. He draws a double team, and that gives Charles Oakley a wide open jump shot. Tell you what, though, on the other end, Clyde Drexler is going around Larry Johnson anytime he wants to. It'll be interesting how long Van Gundy stays with that.
Drexler has Houston. And Houston with the little runner. Nice soft shot which goes in, and we're tied at 10. First basket of the night for Allen Houston. Drexler with the jump shot. Puts Houston back on top.
Yeah, he's getting every shot he wants. The only shot he can't make over Larry Johnson is on the post. He understands that. He has not been back on the post anymore.
Giles gets the pick from Oakley for 3. Chris Giles, who has not been shooting all that well recently.
No, but
and he's 3 for 3 tonight.
Yeah, and you talk about wild cards. He's the wild card tonight because he has a definite advantage at the point guard position in quickness.
See Kevin Willis work for that basket.
Oh, he's a man.
And Willis has 5 points now. It's a 14-13 Houston lead. Buck Williams back in the lineup for the last 2 games. He missed 3 because of the death of his father Moses in Rocky Mount, North Carolina. First Childs missed, but it's tipped back, and Oakley gets the offensive board and finds Larry Johnson, who has Olajuwon on him, takes it and dishes, and they get the basket and the foul. Larry Johnson.
Once again, creating for others. You know, the fans are down on him here. When he passed up that shot, you could hear the crowd. But he passed it up, and he's causing a 3-point play for one of his teammates.
Clyde Drexler picks up his 2nd foul early on, and Buck Williams will go to the free throw line.
I mean, that's quickness, something that people say he no longer has. I think he has it. He has to realize he still has it, and he's using it tonight.
Three-point play for Williams, and it's a New York lead of 2, 16-14. Giles with a modest amount of pressure in the backcourt. Now Maloney goes right. Olajuwon finds Willis too far underneath the basket. Giles chases it down and steps on the line. Substitution now. Sam Mack, who is back home in New York City, comes on and gives Clyde Drexler a rest. Drexler missed 2 games with a strained hamstring, and he really ran out of gas in the second half of that game in Orlando on Sunday.
And you can see that. And that happens. You miss a couple of games. You know, these are probably the best conditioned athletes in the world. Yet you miss 2 or 3 days, you're out of shape.
Maloney, harassed by Chris Childs. Now Sam Mack. He's been getting increasing minutes lately, and there's a foul called on Oakley. And Kevin Willis has already taken his spot at the free throw line.
Yeah, he knows where he's going.
Exactly. 2nd foul on Oakley.
Yeah, they are playing Kevin Willis to come over his left shoulder and shoot that little right-hand hook shot. You can see Oakley there. He was there a little bit too quick, and he misses and fouls the guy. And that's what they're going to play on Kevin Willis all night. They understand he wants to come over that left shoulder, turn into his right-hand hook shot. They're going to play for it all night. They just want to do a better job.
7 points for Kevin Willis in the early going, and we're tied again at 16. 4:20 remaining in the opening quarter. Giles goes left. Allen Houston, Sam Mack has him. Johnson for 3 off the assist, short. And here comes Houston. Mack Left side to Ellie. Underneath to Olajuwon. Skip pass. Maloney for three.
Oh, that's a great shot. I didn't think he had control of the ball. That's a nice shot by Matt Maloney.
Maloney's first basket, and that gives Houston a 3-point edge. Comes the pick and roll. Oakley sets the pick, gets the return pass. Air ball.
You can see by the Knicks offense that they're not used to not having Patrick Ewing out on the floor. They're trying pick and rolls. They're trying to do a lot of little things to get guys points. Now, on the other hand, I'm surprised that Houston Rockets have not taken advantage of the Olajuwon Buck Williams matchup. I think one of the reasons they hadn't been is because Clyde Drexler has such an advantage on Larry Johnson, taking him off the dribble. Now it'll be interesting to see what they'll do. I think they'll go down to Akeem a little bit more.
John Starks makes his first appearance in the ball game. Here's Allen Houston guarding Sam Mack. Buck Williams with a switch. Olajuwon open for a moment. No basket. Illegal defense is called. Jim Clark makes that call. That's the first, so that draws the warning.
Yeah, and it's amazing the effect that Olajuwon. He touches the ball and you hear a whistle. It's an illegal defense because everyone's paying attention to him. Buck Williams right now is doing a great job on Olajuwon and trying to keep him out of the paint.
Here's Olajuwon picked up by Williams. Sam Mack, Allen Houston guards him. Kevin Willis, Johnson out on him. Maloney, shot clock at 8. Here's John Starks in transition. Ellie gets back. Starks takes the jumper, gets it. Instant offense.
Instant offense and instant energy. He's a guy the Knicks love coming off the bench. He's made such a great adjustment since starting for the last 2 years, now coming off the bench. He's a key guy for this Knicks team.
Olajuwon loses it after the spin move, and a foul is called underneath. 19-18 with 2:39 to go in the first quarter of play from the Garden. Heading into the All-Star break, let's take a look at teams who are heating it up at home, and we begin in Atlanta, where the Hawks are 19-1 overall. United Center, not a surprise. The Bulls have won 14. Out of the West, Utah has won 9 in a row at the Delta Center in Salt Lake City. 21-2. And despite their loss Sunday to the Hornets, the Knicks have one of the league's top home records. They have won 15 in a row. They've won 15 out of 16 here at Madison Square Garden. So what do you see that amazes you there?
Well, the thing you see is that the New York Madison Square Garden is the only arena left to me that really has a home court advantage. When you walk into it, this place intimidates people. The other places, they just have a bunch of great players. If you put Michael Jordan in the clip joint with the Clippers, that place is tough to play in all of a sudden. So it's not the arena, it's the players. They have great players.
Whoa. You can't get away with that quickly. Did I just hear you refer to the sports arena as the clip joint?
The clip joint, yes.
Yeah, I guess having spent a year out there, you can say whatever you'd like.
Boy, I can about that place, I tell you that.
Kevin Willis gets another. He's got 8 points in the first quarter. And it's a 2-point lead now, 20-18. Here's Starks. Nice move. John Starks draws the foul.
And that was like a Statue of Liberty play. Buck Williams was coming down, and John Starks told him to go. It was a moving pick. It was a great play. Buck Williams didn't know he was involved in it, but he really was. He played a big part in that play.
John Starks. Ellie picks up the foul. Leads the NBA in minutes. Second in assists and 3-point field goals. Boy, he's got some stats that might make him the 6th man of the year.
Yeah, he really does. He has a great shot at it. There's so many great 6 men this year. Terry Mills in Detroit has been great. Chris Gatlin in Dallas. So there's a ton of guys, but he's at the top of that list also.
And I think one of the things that has really caught all of our attentions, Doc, and you know John very well, is the manner in which he's handled the 6-man role after being a starter.
Yeah, no one thought he would accept it.
Ellie. How about that?
I tell you what, that's all Allen Houston. There's no way John Starks, who shot the free throw, should be the first guy back. That's either Chris Childs or Allen Houston, and on that time, that was Allen Houston. Those are mistakes that loses basketball games for you.
During the break, Randy Livingston and Othello Harrington came on for Rudy Tomjanovich. This is Randy Livingston, the rookie guard. Here's Mario Ellie. Starks guards him. Kevin Willis, leading scorer in the game. This one will not go, and Buck Williams clears it. Here comes Starks. 22-20. Starks bothered by a badly sprained shoulder that he sustained in a collision with Kevin Johnson in Phoenix. Williams in the lane gets 2. Transition defense continues to be a problem.
Yeah, it really does. I mean, if you watch here, look at Allen Houston right here. He's the guy back. Chris Childs and Allen. Chris Childs decides to go to the basket. Mario Elie releases, and no one sees him. And that's the guy who's back. In that case, it was Allen Houston.
Back live after a 3-second violation against the Knicks. This is Randy Livingston in the low post, where he goes over Chris Childs. Battle for the rebound. The Knicks come out with it. Loose ball foul called on Othello Harrington.
That's a great team rebounding effort by the Knicks. You saw 4 guys against 1 right there trying to get a rebound, and that's the type of things you have to do when your 7-footer is not playing.
6-5 rebound edge now, New York and Houston, with 2 of the great rebounders on their respective benches, Ewing and Barkley. Turner Sports continues to bring you great NBA action. How about this lineup tomorrow night? Utah, Seattle, that's just the appetizer. Then we've got Chicago against the Lakers in Game 2, and then All-Star Weekend on Friday and Saturday night on TNT.
Yeah, I'll be home watching those games tomorrow. Those are 2 great games. I don't know which one is better. Obviously, whenever Michael's involved in the game, you have to say that one's better, especially when it's Michael and Shaq. Shaq might not play in that game. If he doesn't, then I'm watching both anyway, but I'll watch the first one for sure.
Charlie Ward gives Allen Houston a rest, so it'll be Childs, Ward, and Starks on the floor for Jeff Van Gundy.
I was talking to Randy Livingston before the game, and I told him what a great job he's done this year. He's basically made it impossible for Brent Price, him and Matt Maloney, to get back in the game or get back in the rotation. And he said, yeah, next time talk about me being on the rookie team. He's upset that he's not playing.
Feed to Childs. Oh, what a nifty move. What a move. Oh, boy. Somebody pick up the pieces.
Oh, that was a great move.
Chris Childs has 10 points. 69 seconds to go. Here's Mario Elie for 3. Mario Elie donates $60 for every 3-pointer he makes in honor of his father Maurice, who died of diabetes in 1986. And that $60 goes to the Juvenile Diabetes Association. There is a consortium of groups that also add $350 every time Elie makes one. He told me before the game they've raised $20,000 already. And there's Johnson with 2.
Yeah, and they love that, obviously. You can hear the crowd every time he touches the ball. You're talking about being in under the microscope right now. Every time he touches the ball, you can hear the buzz of the crowd.
Willis, who was being fronted by Buck Williams, gets the basket and draws the foul. Let's go back and take a look at that drive from Chris Childs.
I mean, this is all quickness. What a great move. He bit the fake right there, Randy Livingston, and you know, that's how you get hurt with face like that. He's lucky to be walking.
Pulled groin.
Yeah, exactly. He could have been over there with Patrick.
Willis has 10, and 4 of those points have come at the free throw line. Make it 5. Ed Middleton waves off the free throw. Lane violation.
Yeah.
Whoa.
You don't see that very often in the NBA. And what happened was the rookie was schooled there by Larry Johnson. He was faking going in. I don't know why. I guess he thought he could out-rebound Larry Johnson if Kevin missed.
Now Ed Middleton, who was one of 3 referees working in the NBA who started in the old American Basketball Association. That takes us back to the 60s. Thank you, Doc. And I remember, that's when I first met Ed. Underneath, another turnover from New York. Final 15 seconds of the first quarter. 4 turnovers now for the Knicks. Randy Livingston, as Houston will take the final shot. Oh, he's quick. But he's also quick to throw it out of bounds.
Yeah, he really is. He gets in the paint, and one of the things Rudy says he does great is passes in the interior. Obviously, that time he didn't do it. But that's what he likes doing.
At the buzzer, we have reached the end of one, and Kevin Willis with 8 points in the first quarter, or 10 points rather, has helped Houston to a 27-25 lead. Welcome back to New York City. We are in Madison Square Garden, ready for the second quarter, the second meeting this season between the Houston Rockets and the New York Knicks. And on a day when the Knicks and Rockets were going to meet at the Garden, the Jets dominated sports news in this city. Here's the caretaker coach of the Jets, and Craig Sager's with him.
Well, thank you, Vern. Bill Belichick named today the head coach of the Jets. You bring with you Bill Parcells as a consultant. Are you merely a front man, or who's running the show?
Well, Bill and I have been together a long time, and it's fun to be back in New York and fun to be working with Bill again as we did last year. We're looking forward to a lot of success here, and it's a long-term deal, so we'll be here for a long time.
How long are you the head coach?
Well, no more than a year.
As far as the team, the Jets were 1-15. Were they just a team that were underachievers, or do they just not have a lot of talent?
Well, I think there's some good talent on the team. Obviously, we've got to come together as a football team, and you lost them.
All right, well, good luck. Thank you, Vern.
All right, thank you, Craig and Bill Belichick. Here's John Starks off the dribble. Flying through the air and just did miss it, and the second shot won't go. Livingston, Harrington, Olajuwon back on the floor. Here's Drexler. And Olajuwon's got it. Oakley now plays Olajuwon, and Olajuwon goes right behind him.
Yeah, he was caught trying to front, and in the middle of fronting, they threw the ball. It was a great pass by Clyde Drexler. He was just caught off balance right there.
Underneath, Starks, foul by Livingston.
John is really playing aggressive right now. He's causing a lot of problems for Houston. Now, he made it to the basket to play before. He lost the ball. He was going to try to dunk. And right then he drew another foul. So he's playing really, really aggressive right now. And they need that play out of him.
Charlie Ward on the floor with Starks and with Childs. Here's Starks back to Oakley. Starks on the line. That's for two. No good. Olajuwon with a rebound. That's his second rebound. Randy Livingston at the other end. It's a good play of Livingston and Maloney that has kept Brent Price on the bench. He's healthy. Here's Mack. Starks guards Drexler, who takes the jumper. Now, Childs the rebound.
Yeah, and it's reversed now with John Starks on Drexler. You'll see Drexler want to go in the post. Right there, he tried to take John off the dribble and end up shooting a jump shot. He needs to take John Starks to the post, and you'll see Clyde make that adjustment. He's not a 10-time All-Star, not knowing that.
Oakley gets his second basket. He's got 4. Randy Livingston, offensive foul. As Childs took the charge, and the rookie from LSU doesn't get the call.
And that's just great help defense. Chris Childs came from all the way on the other side of the floor to get that charge. That is great help defense, and that's what the Knicks are all about.
29-27, 10:25 to go first half. Charlie Ward guarded by Randy Livingston. Mack picks up Childs. Gets the pick from Oakley. Goes baseline. Kicks it back out to Charlie Ward. The jumper for 3. Nope. Crowd was ready to erupt on that one.
Yeah, that was a great move by Chris Childs.
Mack and Drexler, Livingston, Harrington, and Olajuwon. They're going to run a little isolation. Here's Olajuwon with Oakley guarding him. And they collapse. He had Starks and Childs, and they get the turnover. Here's Starks with Livingston back. Childs, touch pass. Underneath, got it.
What he did was got lucky. He should have shot that himself. And they were very fortunate that they came out of that play with the bucket. Very fortunate. That was one more pass than they needed.
That ties it at 29. Olajuwon kicks it out to Drexler for 3. No.
Tell you what, right now the Knicks are limiting the Rockets shots, especially Olajuwon. They're doing a great job on Olajuwon right now. And they're not doing it by one. They're doing it by effort and by team.
Clyde Drexler got the steal. Here's Olajuwon. Whoa, taken down by Oakley. Barkley had to appreciate that move. At the other end, it Starks.
And that was a great pass by Chris Childs. It was more like a quarterback pass. I thought it was Charlie Ward who threw that. That was Chris Childs. Great pass.
Knicks on a roll. They lead by 2. Billy Crystal leads the applause. What's he doing here?
Take a look at the New York Knicks right here and their job on Olajuwon. 1, 2, 3 guys right here surrounding Olajuwon on defense, making him give up the ball, making him turn over the ball with great defense. They're not double teaming. They're playing it team-wise and helping out. And then the next play down the floor, the exact same thing. Charles Oakley, his job is don't let Olajuwon catch it too deep. You can see how far he catches it. He loses his balance because of the trap by Charlie Ward and turns it over. 15 touches by Elijah Wan. Only 3 double teams, but the stat you should look at is only 3 shots.
Had only 3 in the second half of the loss to Orlando the other day. Really has been trying to carry the team with Drexler missing those 2 games and Barkley out. Underneath, taken away by Charlie Ward. Here come the Knicks. Ward takes it all the way underneath and finds John Wallace.
I tell you, one of the things Van Gundy told us a couple of weeks ago is John Wallace on the break is almost unstoppable in open court.
Technical foul called by Ed Middleton on John Wallace.
Oh no. I guess that's a taunting foul, but he wasn't taunting anybody. He was excited about the play. He was happy for himself and for the team. There's a difference between taunting and excitement, and on that one, that's excitement.
Drexler at the free throw line. Ed Middleton made the call. Ed may be earning himself a sobriquet of being a curmudgeon.
You just see a great move right there.
Hanging on the rim, is that what they did? Hung on the rim, that's what they got him for.
I didn't know they still called that one. I've seen guys swing to the other side on the rim.
Well, Barkley in civvies, well dressed in civvies, I might add.
I think the salary has a lot to do with being well dressed.
Yes. That and the clothing deal.
Yes.
29-33. Three-pointer, no. Long rebound. Here's Ward. At the other end, Starks. Wow.
Oh, wow. I tell you what, since they've gone to the 3-guard offense, the Knicks are really doing a great job in transition points. They're beating the Rockets back down court. Earlier, it was the Rockets beating the Knicks back.
Largest lead of the night for the Knicks. Here's Randy Livingston for Houston, and that cuts it back to a 4-point margin. But Charlie Ward brings it up in a hurry. It's Ward, Starks, and Childs, the 3 guards now with Wallace and Oakley. 14 New York fast break points. 10-0 since they went to the 3-guard lineup. Charlie Ward trying to do a little too much. Barkley calls for a travel. And there's a turnover. At the other end, Othello Harrington saves it. Kicks it back outside to Elijah Wan. Off the dribble, here goes Drexler, finds Elijah Wan for the jumper. Yes.
It's funny right now, Elijah Wan is scoring off the post, shooting jump shots. Another interesting matchup, the last 2 times down the court, John Wallace has been holding Elijah Wan.
Childs with the long jumper, no good. Elijah Wan now with only 4 shots, but he has made 3 of them.
And now Wallace has switched back to Harrington, and I think that's what they really want. You can see Clyde working down to the post. He knows his advantage.
Illegal defense. That's the second, and we'll have a technical. Jeff Van Gundy will probably be home tomorrow night watching the NBA on TBS. Doubleheader, the Utah Jazz and the Sonics tip it off at 8 o'clock, and then the Bulls and the Lakers follow up in Game 2. The second meeting of the season between Chicago and the Lakers. You might remember the first one in Chicago. I know you and I do.
Yeah, that's the best game of the year so far. Of all the games in the NBA, that we were at the best game of the year, and now they have a rematch. And last year, the Jazz and the Sonics went to Game 7 in the Western Conference playoffs. So those are 2 great games tomorrow.
Under 7 minutes to go first half now. Livingston. Elijah Wan. Oakley has it. Now Kevin Willis. Backs in on Wallace. Houston teases him with a near double team. Rebound Wallace. Here comes John Starks. Mario Elie or Clyde Drexler. They're going to get Drexler with the foul.
And that's a big foul if it's on Clyde Drexler, because that's number 3.
Nope. Elie, I beg your pardon. That's his second.
But once again, John Starks making things happen, taking it right to Mario Elie, causing him, making him really foul him.
35-34 Knicks lead. 6.5 to go opening half of play. John Wallace, little pump fake, takes it to the basket. The finger roll no good. Gets the offensive board and finds Oakley. There's Kevin Willis with another rebound. That's 3 for Willis. And a chance for the Rockets to reclaim the lead as Olajuwon goes baseline.
And that's a nice move by the Rockets, getting Akeem the ball quickly before the Knicks could set up their defense. That's the best way. It's tough to double team when everyone's not setting down court. And I think the Rockets are starting to understand that.
Olajuwon with 8. Stark spots up for 3. 11 points off the bench for John Starks in 10 minutes. Olajuwon? No. Knocked out of bounds and touched last by Allen Houston. Matt Maloney replaces Randy Livingston. Well, previous years, Houston not known as a great rebounding team. Now with the addition of Barkley, they are among the better rebounding teams. Of course, he's on the bench, and the rebounding edge right now 12-10.
Yeah, and not only Barkley, but Kevin Willis. They added 2 of the better rebounders in the NBA over the last 10 years to their team over the summer.
Starks, Ellie, and Houston for 3. Nope. Kevin Willis gets his 4th rebound. A 38-36 Knick lead. Houston gets back with Drexler now. Oh, goaltending and a foul. Whoa.
Yeah, he got everything out of that. I don't think that was going in, but John Wallace made sure that they counted it.
Foul is on Allen Houston, his first, and Clyde Drexler goes to the free throw line.
And that would have gone in, it looked like. So, you know, it was a good goal to make the ref make the call sometimes. I don't think that's what John Wallace was thinking, but it was not a bad play.
3-pointer by Drexler, and Houston back on top by 1 at 39-38 with 5:06 to go. Houston on a 10-3 run now to reclaim the lead. Houston, Oakley. About 4 moves in the paint, and he gets the basket.
And Barkley is shaking his head.
6 points for Oakley. The basket will count. The foul goes against John Wallace, and Olajuwon goes to the free throw line.
That's the second time Oakley's tried to front and slip down, and John Wallace is he did a great job helping. They're fortunate that the ball went in. Well, you won't see this a whole bunch with Charles Oakley scoring down on the points, and every time he does it, you can count that as gravy for the New York Knicks.
Well, the New York Knicks find themselves down by 1. Coming up Friday night, TNT invites you to All-Star Weekend live from Cleveland, and the list of longest shootout contestants, including some old familiar faces. You saw Dale Ellis. Here's Glenn Rice. I might go with him. Here's Sam Perkins.
Yeah.
John Stockton. And Terry Mills, who's having a terrific season. All-Star Weekend begins this Friday at 10 o'clock here on TNT. And the defending champion is Tim Legler.
I think the Bullets would rather see him on the court playing. He hasn't played in the game this year, and he's going to be in a 3-point shooting contest. That's interesting.
4:41 to go in the first half here. The Rockets up by 1, 41-40. Well, you heard John Stark say that it had to go to the guards tonight. Houston 1 of 4, but Childs is 4 of 7. Stark's 4 of 7. And Charlie Ward 1 of 2.
The difference is in their last couple of games that they've struggled without Patrick Ewing is they try to do it as an individual, and tonight they're doing it through the offense or through the break, and that's why the guards are taking over, and that's what they have to continue to do.
Olajuwon at the free throw line, 5 of 7 from the field for 10 points, and now he goes to 11 and a 2-point Houston lead. Buck Williams getting ready to come back on the floor for New York. Here's Charlie Ward guarded by Maloney. Wallace pops out. Olajuwon, he takes it over him, and the rebound to Kevin Willis.
That shot was a little too quick for John Wallace. The first time he took his time, he got a great shot, didn't make it, but he got what he wanted. That time he went quickly, and it cost him.
Olajuwon finds Drexler, and the foul is called on Allen Houston. Second foul on Allen Houston, and Buck Williams getting ready to rejoin the battle for New York. John Wallace will get a rest.
You know, it's funny they brought Buck Williams in to be one of the little role players, and he's become a big part of this Knicks team. And not only on the defensive end, he's done a great job scoring. He's one of their go-to guys on the scoring end, and that's a surprise to everyone.
Olajuwon finds Willis, who goes over Oakley for 2 more. 12 points now for Kevin Willis and a 4-point Houston lead.
And they couldn't ask more from Kevin Willis. He understood coming here he would not play a ton of minutes. He also understood that the big guys would get hurt some because of age they have. And when they do get hurt, he steps in and does a great job for the Rockets.
Buck Williams in the lane, rejected by Olajuwon. Knocked out of bounds. It will be Houston's ball.
And here's just muscle against muscle. The difference is Oakley is 6'9", Kevin Willis is a 7-footer, and he'll be able to get that shot off all night.
Matt Maloney comes across the timeline. Here's Mario Elie, guarded by Allen Houston now. Starks picks up Drexler, and another turnover as Olajuwon was coming forward. 44-40. Vern Lundquist, Doc Rivers, Craig Sager with you from Madison Square Garden. It's been a teeter-totter game thus far. Largest lead for New York with 6. Here's Starks. Throws it right in the hands of Maloney. Underneath to Willis, who's backing up, and it's off him. So an exchange of turnovers.
Yeah, and that's a tough pass for Kevin Willis to catch. On the move, a big 7-footer running on the move, and the pass coming to him. Tough pass for him to catch.
14 Houston turnovers, and New York started off in that first quarter with 3 quick ones, but they've settled down.
I think the 3-guard offense has affected Houston more on the other end than on the offensive end.
Oakley working hard in the paint. Williams saves it for the Knicks, guarded by Olajuwon. Here's Starks. Quickly goes to his left and takes the jumper. It will not go, and Willis with another rebound. That's 6. 2:40 to go before the halftime break. Drexler kicks it back to Willis. Says, well, I've got it here. I might as well take a jumper.
Yeah, but they don't want him to take those jumpers.
I didn't think so. 44-40. 2:25 to go. Starks for 3. Willis. Oh, boy, is he doing yeoman-like work. 7 rebounds for Kevin Willis. Elie, Maloney. Olajuwon.
You can see Olajuwon trying to shoot quick. He's anticipating the double team or the help. That time no one came, and he shot it anyway.
Chris Childs, the little runner in the lane. That cuts the margin to 2. Under 2 minutes now. Childs with 12 first-half points. Houston guards Drexler, who goes baseline and finds Mario Elie. Maloney kicks it back to Elie for 3. Got it. That's his second one. Excellent ball movement and a 20-second timeout called by the New York Knicks. Mario Elie, 4 of 4 for 10 points, 2 of them 3-pointers.
And Kevin Willis dominating the rebound right there, putting a little extra spice on that one, Vern, but he's having a big game for the Rockets right now.
In the Atlantic Division, the New York Knicks find themselves with a 32-14 record, and they trail Miami by 2. Orlando coming on now. They've got guys healthy.
Yeah, they have guys healthy. They're playing well. And the most disappointing team maybe in the NBA right now is Washington. To be 22-24 with all that talent is quite surprising to everyone.
Miami, of course, has that great road record, and they have really done a wonderful job halfway through the season. Think they can hold on?
Yeah, I do, because they win every night doing the same thing, and that's playing defense. Pat Riley has that team playing defense, and they play physical defense, which puts a lot of fear in the opponent.
That'll be an interesting battle between Miami and the Knicks down the second half of the season. Foul away from the ball. Foul was called on Buck Williams. And Sam Mack is going to hurry onto the court now and replace Mario Elie for the Houston Rockets. Nike halftime report coming up. We'll go back to Atlanta with EJ and the gang. 47-42, a 5-point margin. Johnson, who's gotten a pretty good rest. And Drexler quickly goes right over it.
Yeah, once again, they made the switch. They put Larry Johnson on Clyde Drexler. Clyde Drexler noticed it, and he took him off the dribble and got a nice jump shot. Smart move again by Clyde Drexler.
Largest lead of the first half. 7 points. Illegal defense called against the Houston Rockets. That is the first against the Rockets. So the warning, and Brent Price comes on for Matt Maloney. Brent, who hurt a knee about 3 days into his first training camp with the Rockets, and then broke an elbow in one of the final preseason games.
And this is, you know, Rudy was telling us earlier, this has been really tough for him because they brought Brent Price in here to be the starter, but he never actually was the starter. Usually there's a rule in the NBA or in any league, you never lose a starting job from injury. Well, he really never started, and he's had a tough time getting time. And if he lets guys blow by him like that, he's going to continue to have a tough time getting time.
Maloney tries to answer at the other end. Elijah Wan saves it. 45 seconds to go in the half. Maloney and Price. Here's Kevin Willis. He's had a big first half. Tries to add to it with a jump hook, but Oakley comes down with the rebound, and the Knicks save it. Oh, Giles did a nice job in front of Van Gundy. 5-point margin. Allen Houston off the dribble with a spin move. Foul is called, and Allen Houston.
And that was an interesting play right there. That play was not designed for Allen Houston to take anyone off the dribble, and he noticed that Matt Maloney was on him. He cleared everyone out, and that's exactly what they want him to do. They need him to notice things like that and be aggressive. That's what they're trying to get Allen Houston to do, is be a little bit more aggressive. He's struggling from the field right now, but they need him to be aggressive. With his shooting touch, you know eventually those shots will fall.
8 of 25 in the loss on Sunday. He's been shooting under 40% the last 2 games. Here's Houston, 1 of 4 tonight from the field.
Yeah, but I think more importantly, he's shooting under 40%, but more importantly, he is shooting the basketball. And that's the first step. Get him to shoot first, get him to make the shot second.
Interesting concept. A guy in this league who's shy about shooting the basketball.
Yes.
An old gunfighter returns home to make his last stand against a local rancher. Ride with John Wayne in his final Western. Watch The Shootist Thursday night at 8 o'clock on TNT. 18.1 remaining in the first half of play. And a 49-46 Rocket lead.
And it's been an interesting first half. The Knicks have used a 3-guard offense to get some break points, put some pressure, cause some turnovers. Clyde Drexler and Kevin Willis have been big for the Rockets. They still have to figure out a way, though he has a lot of points, Elijah has 11 points, they have to figure out a way to get the ball to Elijah on the post. With him not having the ball on the post, it's virtually cut out the Rockets' 3-point shooting attack.
And that 3-point shooting attack is something Houston depends on. Foul is called on Chris Childs. That's his second.
And they had a foul to give, so you use the foul. But I'm one of those guys who believe you should use it deeper in the clock. You know, they've been giving them 8.8 seconds. They still have plenty of time to get in their offense. I think you should wait till 2 or 3 seconds on the clock and then commit that foul.
Price for 3. No. Brent Price is coming back off the injured list. Only 4 of 25 now from 3-point range. Big first half for Kevin Willis. 12 points, 7 rebounds. And that's off of a 21-16 rebound game on Sunday. We've reached the halfway point. A 3-point Houston lead.
Rudy, obviously you have to be pleased with what Kevin Willis gave you in replacement of Charles Barkley.
Kevin's been doing a great job filling in for Charles. We've got to do a better job of taking care of the ball. 14 turnovers, and we've got him down for 8 fast breaks and scoring on every one of those things. You know, that looks like that's the difference in the game right now.
Hakeem Olajuwon is getting the ball, but Doc Rivers pointed out it's been away from the basket, not in the post. You try to get to him where he can create the double team?
Well, they're fronting and putting a lot of pressure on our guards, so we're going to try to get it in deep, but he might have to move off the box.
All right, thanks a lot. Good luck in the second half. Back to Vernon.
All right, Craig, and what do you think about Olajuwon in the first half? 26 touches, 5 double teams. 8 shots.
You know, they've done a great job, the Knicks have. He still has 11 points, so that's what type of player he is. Olajuwon has 11 points. He hasn't touched the ball much. They've done a great job guarding him, and they're going to have to continue to do that. I think what the Rockets want to do is get him the ball on the post and force double teams. That's not to say that Olajuwon will get the shots, but I think they want him to create easier shots for guys like Matt Maloney and guys like Mario Ellis.
It's going to be a big week for Rudy Tomjanovich. His team goes on to Detroit on Thursday night, and then he gets to coach his first All-Star game, as does Doug Collins, his first time as a coach with the Eastern team. And how about this? 5 times Tomjanovich played in the game as a player. Collins 4 times. They were teammates, as a matter of fact, in 1979.
Yeah, Rudy talked about that. He said he remembers him in the locker room, which says that Doug Collins was talking a lot, because that's how you get recognized in the locker room. And that does not surprise me at all with Doug.
Really?
No, not at all.
Rudy Tomjanovich in his 6th full season as the head coach, and he has spent his entire career with the Rocket organization. Here comes Chris Childs, and let's set the lineup for you. Johnson's back on the floor along with Buck Williams, Oakley. Oakley takes the jumper. No. Williams, nice job of knocking it back out to Allen Houston. Childs guarded by Maloney. Allen Houston off the screen. Mario Ellie is right with him. Entry pass to Buck Williams. Takes it over Olajuwon and is fouled by Akeem.
You know, watching Buck Williams play, it's like watching a professional go to work. You know he's not going to take a shot out of his repertoire. You know exactly, he knows exactly what he has. He uses that, and he never deviates from that. And that's why he's one of the go-to players for Jeff Van Gundy, because he says he knows exactly what he's going to get.
Gets the first. 4 points now for Buck Williams. Two for 2 from the line. Patrick Ewing looks on. And it's a 1-point game. Houston up 49-48. Drexler, Olajuwon, Willis, Maloney, and Ellie, the starting 5 on the floor for Houston. Here's Drexler guarded by Childs. Moving on the right baseline to Maloney. Takes the jumper over Larry Johnson for 3. No. Childs rebound. Buck Williams gets it back in the hands of Chris Childs. Oakley will pass from the jumper, and they'll go to the half-court set.
Chris Childs was upset that he passed that back. He wants him to shoot the ball. He said, "I'll give you the ball in that spot. Shoot it." And if he's going to shoot that, he's right.
Now Childs has to get back on Drexler. Childs is a little visibly upset. Not at the foul call, but I think he's still thinking about Buck Williams, Oakley.
Yeah, he is. And that's why he probably took that shot. He lost his concentration for a minute. And the foul was good. You should foul a guy who has a wide open layup. Make him, again, earn it from the free throw line.
Drexler at the line. I don't think he's going to be worried about those balloons. Well, maybe he is.
Well, he missed the shot, but I don't think he's worried. I've always said you can do anything you want behind that basket as long as no one sits on that rim and blocks the shot.
Anything?
Well, almost anything.
Okay. I knew there were limits.
There are limits. And,
1 of 2 for Clyde.
And fans cross those limits sometimes.
50-48. Rockets by 2. Here's Chris Childs. Oakley, Buck Williams. Pick and roll with Oakley. Childs takes it. 4 on the shot clock. Johnson took a while, but he gets the shot. It's a legal shot. Gets the rebound. Oakley takes the jumper. Got it. Interesting at the halftime break. Craig Sager passed along the fact that Bill Belichick, the Jets coach, was in the hallway talking to Charles Barkley. And Oakley walked by and said, "Hey, Coach Bill, don't talk to that euphemism."
Again, love shared by Oakley and Barkley. It's amazing how much they really love each other.
Tie game at 50-50. Oakley finds Johnson, who's guarded by Mario Ellie, and there's Willis. So they have to dish right side, and Oakley gets it.
And great move by Larry Johnson, being aggressive. Kevin Willis did a great job helping, but Larry Johnson found the man. Open, passes, shot.
Mario Ellie. 14 lead changes in the ball game and 8 ties. And a foul is called on Olajuwon. That's his third.
Oakley's doing a really good job. Right there, Olajuwon is trying to feel Charles Oakley's body. And when Oakley stepped away, Olajuwon loses his balance. He shows the ball when he loses his balance. Oakley causes a turnover. Great defense for Charles Oakley.
Oakley with an elbow. And the offensive foul called by George Tolliver. That's the third foul on Oakley. Kevin Willis grinning.
Yeah, he is. And you can see the game turning a little bit towards the aggressive side. And that's what we thought would happen with Barkley in it. And with the Knicks and the Rockets, it'll probably happen without him in it also.
2-point Knicks lead. Mario Elie with a 3-point effort. Oakley with a rebound. Here's Chris Childs. Maloney picks him up. 9-10 remaining third quarter. Houston. Oakley with the screen. Elie did not get called for the foul, and Oakley wanted it, and Houston takes the three-pointer and gets it.
Yeah, that's obviously what they want Allen Houston to do. Oakley had a great right there. He was pushed out of the way, no call. They get the call on the other end. That's why he showed his disgust. Oh.
Drexler ends a 13-1 lead with that long basket. It's a 2-point Knick lead. Here's Childs. Goes by Willis. Into the hands of Olajuwon. Here's Drexler at the other end. Oakley is back. Mario Elie brings it back outside. Maloney for 3. And Chris Childs may have deflected the ball over the back.
He really did. And if he didn't, at least he bothered him. And that's great effort. Chris Childs was in the stands a minute ago, and he got back. That's what Van Gundy wants to see, transition defense.
Pick and roll. Childs kicks it out to Larry Johnson. Bounce pass. Buck Williams. Jump hook. No. Willis with another rebound. That's 8 rebounds for Kevin Willis.
Yeah, he's dominating defensive rebounds right now.
Drexler in the post. Olajuwon finds Elie cutting. Got it. Mario Elie, who is playing back home. He grew up in New York City, where years ago he was a junior varsity teammate of Chris Mullin of the Golden State Warriors. Johnson at the other end.
And you know, Mario Elie reminds me so much, and it's not the same position, but of what they did for the team as Maurice Cheeks. He makes the little shots that you don't notice. You look in the stats, and right now Elie has 12 points, and that's what he does. 5 for 5 shooting, 4 assists. Elie is one of those guys that makes championship teams champions.
A 2-point Knick lead, and that one's out of bounds. It'll be thrown in by Charles Oakley. 7:29 remaining third quarter. Here's the pick and roll with Buck Williams again. Oakley inside the arc. Tipped away. Buck Williams, nice job, but it goes right in the hands of Maloney. Left side, Mario Elie. Houston comes to guard him. They kick it back outside to Maloney. Mismatch. Buck Williams, he goes right by him, puts it in the lane. Scoop shot, no good.
Yeah, he didn't have enough left in the tank.
At the other end, Childs off the Oakley screen. Houston got it. 6:47 to go, third quarter. Drexler, timeout call by the Rockets. Matt Maloney trying to finish when he realized he had Buck Williams on him. And words said between Drexler and Charles Oakley. Maloney got in the lane and found out he was pooped.
Yeah, you can see it too.
I would love to play in the All-Star game because I think it's a great honor to be selected by the fans. But my number one and only priority is to the Houston Rockets. Right now, I'm probably 75 to 80%. And for me to risk my ankle in an All-Star game, if I was to get hurt in an All-Star game, it would turn out to be one of the worst decisions I've ever made in my life. Not that I have made any. It would be the first wrong decision I've ever made in my life.
Well, he has decided not to play in the All-Star game in Cleveland. It was announced earlier tonight that Detlef Schrempf from the Seattle Sonics will replace him. Detlef, 17-point average and 7 rebounds per game.
Deserving
decision?
play. Yeah, absolutely. He's had a lot of people thought he should have been on there to begin with. Obviously, you only could put 12 guys on. And now there's a rumor out of New York that Patrick Ewing might not play in the All-Star game. The first one he would have been able to start in the last 3 years. So a lot of guys going down with injuries right now.
Kevin Willis gets that basket. Jeff Van Gundy telling us before the game that he didn't think Ewing would play here in the home game against San Antonio on Thursday night. And it would follow if he doesn't play in that one, he's not going to play in the All-Star game in Cleveland. There's a turnover called by Jimmy Clark.
Most likely, if Patrick Ewing does not play Thursday, he will not play in the All-Star game. You never know. If he's healthy, he should play. But if he's not, obviously, the team is more important than the All-Star team.
Maloney. Back it goes to Elijah Wan. Buck Williams there to alter the shot, and Oakley takes it away. 59-57. Nice pass to Johnson. Oh, boy.
It's funny how this game is going. The Knicks are turning the tide on the Rockets. The Knicks are the ones scoring in transition, and the Rockets are the team having a tough time getting back. A lot of their points, the Knicks have been caused off Knicks' good defensive pressure and turnover. 20
fast break points thus far for New York. And another turnover. Take a look at this Childs pass to Johnson.
Yeah, that's just a great pass. The guys on the Rockets got lost. No one picked up Larry Johnson. Chris Childs recognizes and gets the ball to Larry Johnson.
5:40 to go, third quarter, a 4-point New York lead. Turnovers now, Houston with 18 and New York with 11. 5.5 to go, third quarter. Houston looks for Childs and finds him. 7 on the shot clock. Childs takes it off the dribble. There's Elijah Wan to alter the shot, and Mario Elie has it. 3-on-2. Elie finds Willis, takes the jumper, didn't get the roll. Putback is no good. Oakley has it.
Once again, giving Kevin Willis the ball while he's moving is tough.
Williams. No. Elijah Wan. Johnson chases down the offensive board. Larry's hearing something he hasn't heard here.
A roar.
Cheers. Oakley. Lead is 6. Alec Baldwin liked that one.
We have them all here tonight, Vern.
Yeah, it's an all-star lineup on the front row tonight. 4:30. Jump hook, Kevin Willis short. Oakley chases it down. Here comes Childs. Childs to Houston, who didn't expect it. The tip is good from Allen Houston or Buck Williams. Who got it?
Allen Houston. Showing his athletic ability.
Rudy Tomjanovich says, let's take a 20. And they will do so to the roar of a sellout crowd at Madison Square Garden.
Yeah, you can see right there, Allen Houston had no idea the ball was coming. But what quick ups. That's Dennis Rodman type ups by Allen Houston. The quick jumps, and quick jumpers are great rebounders. I'm not saying Allen Houston's a great rebounder, but he was a quick jumper on that play right there.
Speaking of which, it has been approved for Rodman to rejoin the Chicago Bulls after the All-Star break. That announcement came from league headquarters today. Well, big tussle in the East, but how about what's going on in the Midwest, where Houston and Utah now tied with identical records of 32 and 14. Minnesota coming on. I know you like their kind of play.
Yeah, I do. They're young. They're aggressive. Right now they're having a tough time winning on the road, and that's because of youth. If they can figure out how to win some games on the road, Minnesota's going to be tough. I say they will be in the playoffs.
Do you?
Yeah, I really believe that. It'd be exciting to see those three young guys, Gugliotta, Marbury, and Garnett, make it to the playoffs.
Randy Livingston is in the lineup now as Rudy Tomjanovich makes that change. He's in for Maloney. The other four remain the same. Here's Drexler to Livingston. Houston comes out to defend. They find Elijah Wan. He finds Elie for 3. And Mario Elie perfect tonight. 6 of 6, including 3 3-pointers.
And not only is this perfect, the shots that he makes shots when teams are making runs. He times his shots perfect. I mean, those are just killer shots.
Mario Elie, one of the quiet stars of this Houston team. Here's Elijah Wan with the rebound. And Randy Livingston comes across the timeline. A 5-point New York lead. Olajuwon with no points, no rebounds in this quarter. Remember, he had only 3 second-half shots. There he goes. That's his first basket of the second half.
First basket, first good attempt at the basket. The Knicks have done a great job of taking Olajuwon off the post. This is the first quick shot that Olajuwon has gotten on the post virtually all game. Oakley got there a little late, and he's able to make the shot and put it in.
Welcome back to New York City, where Lady Liberty provides over all. And the Hall of Fame announced its newest inductees in the ceremony held today in New York. Among them, Bailey Howell, longtime pro, and Alex English, the NBA's leading scorer in the 80s, and a 10-year stay with the Denver Nuggets. Bailey Howell with a 12-year career. They were among 7 who were announced today. Pete Carrill of Princeton. Don Haskins, the most deserving recipient of that honor. Anybody there missing as far as you know?
Well, Sidney Moncrief, but it amazes me. I would love to find out who's on the selection committee. Sidney Moncrief not being on is a victim of being in a small market. He's a guy, he was the hardest working man in show business. That's what we used to call him. Him not being selected to me is a crime. And Don Haskins should have been on the first time. This is at least 3 times he's been passed over. He was the coach of the most important college basketball game for blacks in college history, yet it took him 3 or 4 times to make it. And I think that's a shame. I'm happy he's on. He should have been on the first time.
I'm going to change your nickname from Doc to Reverend.
I did preach on that one.
Oh, way to get in the pulpit.
Yes.
My guy, I like that. 3 minutes to go, third quarter. 65-62. Jumper no good. Willis with a rebound. He's got 9 rebounds now. 2:50 to go, third quarter. Livingston. Underneath it goes to Olajuwon. Boy, here comes the traffic.
Well, it's amazing how much attention Olajuwon is drawing.
Baseline jumper in and out.
And that's a good move by Houston. You throw it in the first time, you throw it back, and you repost it. Guys don't like trapping twice. It's too much energy.
John Starks back on the floor now. 2:25 to go, third quarter. Here's Childs off the dribble over Livingston. Rebound Willis. He's in double figures now with 10. Randy Livingston. Childs guards him. A 3-point game and a foul called. Foul is on Chris Childs. That's 4 on Childs. Now time to look at tonight's Chevy scoreboard. Busy night in the NBA. And don't forget to tune in to CNN at 11 o'clock Eastern for all the scores, highlights, and an in-depth look at the sports issues of the day on the simulcast of CNN-SI, the 24-hour sports news network from CNN and Sports Illustrated. Drexler, no, foul. He'll go to the line. Allen Houston is called for the violation. That's his third. Drexler misses the first. Well, a doubleheader for you tonight on TBS. Tomorrow night on TBS, we begin with the Jazz and the Sonics, and then the Bulls and the Lakers, the second and final time they'll meet in regular season play. And then Friday night, the All-Star Weekend on TNT, both Friday and Saturday night. A 2-point margin now, 65-63. 2 minutes to go, third quarter. Childs continues to play with 4 fouls. Oakley to Johnson, guarded by Othella Harrington.
And this is a matchup he has to take advantage of.
Ellie comes with a double team. Johnson in the line, kicks it out to John Starks. Little soft shot is good.
Yeah, the tough shot, but again, Oakley, or I'm sorry, Larry Johnson notices the double team. He recognizes and he throws the ball out.
Starks with 13 points. Drexler tries to counter, can't. Here comes Charlie Ward. He is on in place of Chris Childs for 3, in and out. Johnson saves it, puts it back, and is fouled. John Starks with a rest until just a few moments ago, but boy, he really provides a spark when he comes in.
Oh, he's been really big tonight. John Starks is playing the way they like him to play, with all the energy. He's taking shots, he's being aggressive. He's shooting threes. He's making passes. He's doing it all tonight. And that's what they need him to do with Patrick Ewing out. You know, people forget John Starks is playing with a sore shoulder. His shooting shoulder also, obviously it doesn't bother him a lot.
Johnson, nifty move into the paint. And he draws the foul. Johnson will go to the free throw line.
Yeah, Larry's being really aggressive tonight. Just taking the ball to the basket.
Is that all due to the absence of Ewing, you think?
Oh, for him it is. He's so attuned to seeing Patrick Ewing down on the post. So tonight, what he knows no one's down there. He's the guy that has to go down there and cause double teams and get shots. And he's done exactly what Jeff Van Gundy wants him to do tonight.
Larry Johnson gets one more. And among the other accomplishments for Larry Johnson tonight, 7 rebounds, 5 of them off the offensive board. 1 of 2. And it's back to a 5-point margin with 69 seconds to go, third quarter. Livingston, Harrington, the 2 rookies. Mario Elie, Drexler, and Kevin Willis on the floor now. Olajuwon gets a rest. Mario Elie up and in. Misses. Is fouled and will go to the line. Actually, that is the second miss. I said a while ago that Mario Elie had been perfect. He did have a miss. He was 6 of 7. And now this young guy who played around the world for 5 years before he got a chance in the NBA. Chatting with him before the game, Doc, and we were reminiscing about his career. He was drafted by Milwaukee when he came out of American International, but he was cut. He played in Portugal, Argentina, Santa Fe, Argentina, and then 7 months in Dublin. He said that was the best time in his professional career.
Even over the championships?
Until he got to Houston.
Yeah, I was going to say, wow, I'm getting out of here, brother. They have something over there I didn't know about.
Well, I think it's lager. He said something about the games. The results didn't mean that much.
Oh, okay. I understand. I understand.
68-65. I knew you'd catch my drift. 43 seconds to go. Johnson, double team, comes from Livingston. Kicks it back to Houston. Off the dribble, right side, Charlie Ward. 4-3. Guards have been a big part of what the Knicks have accomplished so far in this game. Here's Livingston at the other end. No. Rebound, Oakley throws it away. Here's Drexler. And they'll play for the final shot.
Yeah, big turnovers. No rush. You had the last shot. You didn't need a fast break, and that was a bad turnover.
Starks guards Drexler. Goes for the steal. Clyde goes by him. Up and under, too strong. Drexler one more chance, and he doesn't get the roll. We have reached the end of 3. Allen Houston, nothing in the quarter, 3 of 4 for the night. Knicks lead as we go to the final stanza by 6. Starting lineup voted by the fans for the Western All-Star Game in Cleveland. Barkley, Olajuwon Kemp, Gary Payton, and John Stockton, 2 from Seattle. And, of course, Charles Barkley is elected not to play because of injury. There's more on that from Craig Sager.
Well, Vern, talking with Charles Barkley, he said he gave up his spot, but he certainly did not want another Seattle player to go. He said they don't deserve to have 3 in the All-Star game. He gave up his spot because he couldn't play, and he wanted Chris Gatling from Dallas to take his spot. If not Chris, he said, how about Kenny Anderson? He said Seattle doesn't deserve to have 3 at the All-Star game. So Charles always has his comments, Vern.
Yeah, but what's the logic with Charles Barkley? He says the 4th best in Seattle. What place is Dallas in?
Not within hailing distance last I checked.
Exactly. And Chris Gatling has had a great year, but with 11 wins or whatever they have, you can't put them in. You can't put him on the All-Star team. Kenny Anderson is having a great year. He makes a great point there.
Sam Mack on the floor now for the Houston Rockets, guarded by Allen Houston. Here's Olajuwon. Can't get the shot. Livingston takes it up, puts it off the glass, and gets the roll.
Tell you what, they're going to recognize eventually that Livingston is not going to shoot that jumper. He doesn't want to. He keeps pump faking, getting guys around him, and making it to the bucket.
4-point game. Here's Larry Johnson, guarded by Othella Harrington. Mack has Allen Houston. Oh, wow.
wow. I tell you what, if you give him a live dribble, and he's not going to get a lot when Patrick's in the game because Patrick's down on the post, he is lethal. He is a lethal player with the dribble.
Allen Houston with 13 points and back to a 6-point margin. Underneath it goes to Olajuwon, goes baseline, puts it up, draws the foul, goes to the free throw line. A patented Olajuwon move.
Really is, and we haven't seen a lot of that tonight. And the reason is because of Charles Oakley. Look where he catches the ball. He catches it so far away, and that's due to Charles Oakley, and he makes him give it up. Olajuwon wants to catch the ball down lower on the post, and he's catching it out, and it's due to Charles Oakley's body and Buck Williams' body. It's like a tag team match right now. Both of those guys have done a great job on Olajuwon.
Oakley's going to have to rest. He picks up his 4th foul, so Buck Williams replaces him, and Olajuwon goes to the free throw line. 3-point game, 73-70. This one has been within single digits for both clubs from the get-go. Starks finds Houston. Sam Mack has him defensively. Little isolation for Houston and a foul called on Sam Mack.
Great job by Jeff Van Gundy. I think right now he is recognizing that Allen Houston wants the ball. He scored on the last 2 plays, and they've given him right back to him. I've always believed, don't change it. If it's working, you just stay with it. Right now, Allen Houston's the guy they want to go after.
Mario Elie goes for the steal and does not get it. Well, you heard John Stark say the guards had to get it done tonight. They've gone to a 3-guard lineup much of the evening. And 18 of 36 for 45 points from the backcourt tonight.
And they've done it through their offense. You can see they know Allen Houston is feeling it right now.
Yes, he is.
Boy, he is so streaky. He's a good shooter most of the time, and then he gets hotter on you. There goes my theory, Vern. You keep shooting until you make it.
6 of 11 from the field for Houston, but Olajuwon at the other end.
I had a guy in Atlanta who lived by that theory, Dominique Wilkins.
I thought that's who you might have a reference to.
Yeah, and he has 27,000 points on that theory.
75-72. And a 22nd timeout is called. Allen Houston in the last 10 games, 17 points. That's 3 better than his seasonal average. He's been averaging 15 shots per game. He had 25 here on Sunday.
81% from the 3-point arc. That's an amazing statistic. He should only shoot 3s right now. He's shooting that well.
Back it up, Allen.
Yes,
back it up.
My goodness. That is an amazing stat. You know what? I tell you, as a kid, when I was growing up, you only wanted to dunk because Dr. J was around. There was no 3-point line. The league is starting to inherit some great shooters, and I think it's due to the 3-point line. Now when kids grow up, they see a line. They see, hey, I can get 3 points out of this. Now, you still want to do the fancy dunks, but there's some great shooters in the league, and Glenn Rice and Allen Houston are top of the list.
Here's the difference between you and me. When I was young, they outlawed the dunk because Chamberlain.
Oh, wow.
Oh, dear. Age over beauty, I always say. Another one for Allen Houston. 17 points. That was for 2.
And you will see a switch very quickly. Sam Mack will not be on Allen Houston much longer. I think Rudy should go to Mario Elie and switch off because right now they need a stopper, and Ellie's the guy.
Here comes New York. Starks for 3. Almost got the roll, and the tip is good from Johnson. Jimmy Clark, they call it technical? Technical foul.
And I didn't see why. I hope it's not another one of those taunting fouls.
No.
You know what Jeff Van Gundy is saying right now? You can read his lips. He's saying the last time they played, Charles Barkley did that the entire game, and there was not one taunting foul. And now you've called 2 already on the Knicks, and they're calling it because the Knicks complained after that game about taunting, and who gets it? The Knicks. Charles Barkley has his effect on the game. He's not even in it.
26-point game, 79-73, 9:20 to go in regulation play. Here's Othello Harrington, looks for Elijah Wan. He's guarded by Buck Williams. They play him up. Starks comes with a double team, and Elijah Wan goes over Buck Williams for 2. It's a 4-point game.
And that's 3 times in a row Elijah Wan's caught the ball on the post and scored. But whatever the Knicks have been doing, they're not doing now, and they better get back to it. That's the last guy you want to start filling it.
Alley-oop, too strong. If you just joined us, we've got a good one going from the Garden. A 4-point game. New York leads Houston 79-75. Neither team is led by more than single digits throughout the night. Elijah Wan tied up by Charlie Ward.
Weak side help coming from underneath. I've always believed this is one of the best ways to trap. Not from the top, but coming back underneath. Elijah Wan never saw him.
A little bit of a physical mismatch now with Elijah Wan and Charlie Ward.
Yeah, the crowd wants to see a miracle right now, basically.
Violation called by Jimmy Clark on the far side. And it's going to be Houston's ball to throw in.
I think they would have won the tip anyway, Vern. So.
Oh, it's bold statements like that that are going to keep you employed in television. 79-75, 8:35 to go. Kevin Willis getting ready to rejoin things. That one saved by Charlie Ward. It hits the backboard, and it will be Houston ball. Fresh 24-second clock. Willis in, Harrington out. Takes his spate at the end of the bench next to Charles Jones and Charles Barkley. Guess which one of those two is talking the most. Drexler back in, replaces Sam Mack. That's Ellie, Willis, Livingston, Drexler, and Elijah Wan on the floor for the Houston Rockets. Alley-oop, Elijah Wan underneath. Foul call. Second foul called on Larry Johnson.
Look at this last play. Houston has made a great adjustment, Vern. What they've done, they've put everybody up at top, so there's no weak side help. They're waiting for the front, and they're lobbing it over top to Elijah Wan. That's a great adjustment by Rudy Tomjanovich. He is taking guys away, and they're going to do it again. Right over top.
Elijah Wan underneath. Jump ball.
Once again, they're waiting for the front. They're taking all the Knicks players and putting them up top so they can't help from the weak side. And Elijah Wan is getting the ball on the post now. Great help by the Knicks to stop that last bucket.
Was indeed. Here's Johnson and Elijah Wan, and Randy Livingston chases it down for the Houston Rockets. Drexler. And he draws a foul called on Larry Johnson. That's 3 on Johnson. Elijah Wan with 7 points in this quarter. Kind of a quiet first 3.
Yeah, but that's why you play 4. And you know he's going to impose his will at some point in this game, and he's doing it at the right time. That's why he's an all-star.
Time has been called by the New York Knicks with 8:10 remaining. And it's time now to look at tonight's Dutch boy in the paint. Rebounding edge goes to the Knicks by 4. And the forwards, Willis with 14 points to Oakley's 12, and he's out rebounding him by 5. But really tonight, the story, at least for New York, has been in the backcourt.
It's been the guards, and one of the weaknesses that everyone talked about with the Rockets are the weakness at the point guard position. I think the Knicks have done a great job of exploiting that tonight, but everyone's playing well, and Allen Houston has really picked up his game.
Among the quartet, they are shooting 52% from the field. Allen Houston 6 of 7 in the second half. The boos are because on the large screen over Madison Square Garden, they just showed a close-up of Charles Barkley. There's the front again from Buck Williams, and he knocks it out of bounds, so it will be Houston ball.
And I can guarantee you that's what the Knicks talked about. It'll be interesting if they continue to front, or will they start playing behind and then start doubling teaming to try to give Elijah Wan a different look.
13 of those 20 off the bench from John Starks. Willis guarded by Oakley. Illegal defense. That's the second one called against the Knicks tonight, so we'll shoot the technical.
Wow, and that's an interesting call because John Starks was down trapping. It wasn't a normal trap. He was kind of trapping from behind, but the rule is if you make contact, and that's what John Starks was doing. They are saying it was not an aggressive trap, and so it's an illegal defense. It's a judgment call, and it can go either way.
Mario Elie, solid at the line, hitting 89%, and he gets the technical. Chris Childs is going to come back on the floor now, replacing Charlie Ward. No, it will be Allen Houston. So Ward and Childs will stay in the backcourt.
Interesting sub. I think he's not going to give him much rest because he's still hot. He just hasn't had a chance to shoot the ball lately.
A three-point game. Mario Elie with 19 points tonight. Here's Elijah Wan. Oakley with a rebound.
That's his first miss, and that's exactly where they want him shooting, away from the bucket.
Charlie Ward. Starks, Ward, and Childs. Here's Starks, goes left side. Foul called away from the ball, and I think they got Kevin Willis.
And the refs are really calling this game tight. They understand the intensity of this game, the way it's being played. They obviously anticipated that Barkley was going to be here, and that's why you've already seen 2 taunting fouls in an NBA game, which you usually don't see one.
Both teams with 1 game remaining before the All-Star break. The Knicks at home against San Antonio on Thursday night. Here's Starks. No. Tipped into the hands of Randy Livingston, and another foul called. Double foul called on Willis, and a technical foul called on Kevin Willis. It was Willis and
Charles Oakley going at it again.
Okay.
That's what the last foul was, and they've been going at it for about 2 or 3 series down the court, and Jimmy Clark caught him.
That is the 5th foul on Oakley and the 2nd foul on Willis, but he gets the technical, and Chris Childs is at the free throw line where he misses the technical foul.
And John Starks was saying that should have been me shooting that foul right there. Well, you earn shooting techs. The guy who shoots the best from the free throw line shoots the techs.
Childs had 14 points in the first half, but none in the second half, and he is an 84% free throw shooter. 3-point game underneath. Tipped by the Knicks. Drexler on his back gets up, and it'll be Houston ball.
And the Knicks don't believe anybody. They think it's their ball. They think Clyde Drexler threw the ball out of bounds.
Eddie Middleton and George Tolliver talk it over.
Yeah, I think they have a case.
Yeah, how about that? Ed Middleton came over and said, no, I think it should be New York ball.
And it's a great call. John Starks, great defense. Clyde Drexler just threw the ball out of bounds because he couldn't get the shot off.
And a good job by the officials, the one overruling the other because he had a better view of it. Tipped, intercepted by Drexler. Scoop shot, no. Offensive foul, wow.
Wow.
Oh, my goodness.
And you know what? I think it was a good call. George Tolliver saw it first. Ed Middleton didn't really get a good look at it, and he looked over to his partner for help. The help was calling offense, and that's a great call.
And a technical foul now called on the Houston bench. I think it's Tom Janovich.
I think it's Clyde Drexler.
Is it really? It's on Drexler.
And Drexler doesn't get many, but when he gets them, they usually comes in 2, so they better watch Clyde Drexler right now because he's capable of getting thrown out of the game. He doesn't do it often, but when he does it, he gets 2, and you can see John Starks saying, my turn.
Yeah, Starks will try it. 5 technical fouls tonight, and this is with Barkley in civilian clothes.
Yeah, I think if someone had told you a Knicks and Houston game and there was 5 technicals, they would have said, well, how many did Barkley get? He has none. But he's still part of the game.
Oh, is he ever. And a 4-point margin, 80-76. Pick and roll, Buck Williams. Childs, penetration, finds Buck Williams. Strong foul.
This game is a war. This game has become a physical war, and whoever's the last man standing will win. I mean, these are fouls intent to not only stop the shot, but to make you hurt. I mean, those are hard fouls right there. This is playoff type fouls that you're seeing right now.
Clyde Drexler called with a foul. That's his 4th. Buck Williams gets the free throw. And coming up tomorrow, a doubleheader on TBS. We begin with Utah and the Sonics. And that's followed up by Chicago and the Lakers following game 1. And then on Friday night, our coverage. And as you were watching that, we get another free throw from Buck Williams.
And that's a great timeout by Rudy Tomjanovich. He understands right now what's going on. This is becoming a slow-down physical war. This is the way the Knicks are used to playing. Rudy Tomjanovich doesn't want that. He wants it to get back to an up-tempo game.
All-Star game coming up this weekend from Cleveland in the Eastern All-Star starting lineup. Grant Hill, Patrick Ewing, Scottie Pippen, number 23, and Penny Hardaway. And the reserves, Mourning Mutombo, Ben Baker, Kristen Leitner, Terrell Brandon, Tim Hardaway, and Glenn Rice. And TNT will be there on Friday and Saturday night. Rookie game coming up on Saturday night, as well as the dunk contest and the three-point shootout.
How about having Scottie Pippen, Grant Hill, Michael Jordan, and Penny Hardaway on the same team? Those are the 4 best all-around players in the league right now, and they're on the same team. That's pretty awesome.
And Collins gets to coach him.
Yeah. Well, what Collins gets to do is just sit down and throw the ball out and say, play ball.
That's quite an honor, and Doug was thrilled with the fact he gets to coach, as was Rudy Tomjanovich. It's really said you realize how difficult it is to get in a position to coach an all-star game. This will be the first for each.
And Doug Collins is just unbelievable job. He's saying no one expected that.
Well, Buck Williams fronts Elijah Wan, and this time he picks it off.
Picks it off. It was a pass, but it was a pressure. What Jeff Van Gundy has done now, he's put more ball pressure. He says, we're going to continue to front and put more ball pressure, make that pass a little tougher.
21 Houston turnovers. Starks tries to make him pay with a 3, and there's a foul, loose ball foul, called on Buck Williams. Elijah Wan.
Loose ball foul charged to Kevin Willis of the Rockets. That's his 3rd personal.
It's on Kevin Willis, beg pardon. And this is Buck Williams with the steal.
Yeah, great front, and the defense was great by Buck, but more of the ball pressure is what caused that turnover.
6 to go in regulation. Chris Childs guarded by Drexler. Pick and roll. Oakley into the hands of Charlie Ward.